Sairam children, now we learn about transportation in animals and plants, part 3 of the chapter. This is for class 7. Subject is science. In part 3, we learn about transport of substances in plants. In part 2 and 1, we learned about transport in animals. In this section, we learn about transport in plants. We all know that food is prepared in leaves. For preparing food, there is something called photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is the process of preparation of food in plants. And in plants, food is prepared in the leaves. And for preparation of the food, three things are needed. One is the sunlight, second is the water which comes from the roots, and third is the carbon dioxide which comes from the air around the plants. So plants take water and minerals from the soil. So from the soil they take both water and the minerals which are required. Now we should know how are the nutrients absorbed by the roots transported to leaves. So we'll be learning in this chapter how the nutrients get absorbed from the roots and they go up to the leaves where the food is getting prepared. And the next thing we'll also learn is how is the food prepared by leaves carried to different parts of the plant. So there are two things. One is nutrients have to go from the roots to the leaves, and the second thing is food which is prepared in the leaves has to go to all the parts of the plant. These are the things we'll be learning in this section. Transport of water and minerals. Plants absorb water and mineral by roots. Correct? So even how much ever water you pour on the leaves, they don't get absorbed. That's why for the plants, water needs to be poured near the roots. Okay, that is where the water gets absorbed by the plants. The roots have root hair, which increase the surface area for absorption of water and minerals. Basically, in the picture you are seeing the small things. These are the root hairs. So one is the main root. In addition, you have the small root hairs. Because of this, the area increases. As there is more area, they can absorb more nutrients. The root hair is in contact with the water present in the soil. So when we pour, this whole thing will be inside the soil, and when we pour water, the water is part of the soil, and this root hair absorbs both the water and the nutrients. Now these plants have pipe-like vessels. See, you can see these vessels, they keep running from down to top. These are the pipe-like vessels. Okay. To transport water and nutrients. So one pipe will transport water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves, and they are vascular. They are special cells called the vascular tissue. Okay, the vascular tissue of transport of water and nutrients in plant is called xylem. So that pipe-like tissue which transports water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves, they are called xylem. Now we learned about the next part, that is how the food gets transported in plants. So in the plants, as I told, to the photosynthesis process, food gets prepared in the leaves. Okay, from that leaves, the food has to go through all the parts of the plant. So food for the plant is prepared in the leaves, and food has to be transported to different parts of the plant. The vascular tissue, like xylem, there is another type of vascular tissue called phloem. Okay, these transport food from leaves to different parts of the plant. So there are two types of tissue, xylem and also phloem. Xylem transports nutrient and water from roots to the leaves, and phloem transports prepared food from the leaves to all parts of the plants. Now another thing is called transpiration. So in the previous slide we learned about transportation. Now what is transpiration? Transpiration is by the methodology by which the unused water, so the water which is coming from the roots to the leaves, all this water is not used by the leaves for preparation of food. Some of the water is not used. Now this water has to go out of the plant. That also happens through the leaves. So through the leaves the water goes out of the plant. Now this is a picture, very enlarged picture of a leaf. You can see the small gaps. Through these gaps only the water comes out of the leaf, and due to the wind and the air they get into the air, they get evaporated into the air. Some water vapors evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaves by the process of transpiration. These small openings are called the stomata. They help in removing from the plant the extra water. So that is also very important. So when the extra water goes out, fresh water gets pulled from the roots to the top. It is something like your straw. When you, all of you know straw, you drink juices with the straw. When you suck through the straw, the juice from the bottom rises up, correct? Similarly, when the water vapors escape to the stomata, water gets pulled up from the roots further. As the water comes up, they carry with them the nutrients. This is how the nutrients and water gets transported from bottom to the top, because otherwise what will happen, water goes down, nothing comes up. Because of this stomata and evaporation, water gets transported from roots to the leaves. Now this is very strong. The evaporation of water from leaves generates a suction pull which can pull water to great height in tall trees. You know, big tall trees, so big they'll be, still the water is reaching from the roots till to the top leaves. How is that possible? That is possible because of this suction pull due to the transpiration process. Transpiration also cools the plant. That's why when you go close to green trees, you feel cooler because the water vapor escapes and they cool down the plants. It is something similar to when you're feeling sweat and you come and stand below a fan. You feel cool because the water vapor, water drops on your sweat drops on your body gets evaporated, and which cools the skin. Similar thing happens for the plants also. Now we have come to the final section of this part, that is questions. The first is the match the following structures with their functions. We have stomata, xylem, root hairs and phloem. And also we have the what all the functions they are mixed up, you have to correctly match them. The next question is water reaches great heights in the trees because of suction pull caused by what? Third question is water is transported in plants through dash. Does transpiration serve any useful function in plants? You know the answer now, you should explain in detail. Now we have come to the end of this chapter on transportation in animal and plants. Thank you very much. Sai Ram.